Jose Diodo goes for an Olaf pick, you can just throw the set into the top side of the map or throw a mid. So I think it's just a really good, safe pick so they can counter pick on blue side.
All right, we got the Ashe picked up for the side of Rainbow7, hovering over the Zac now as well. That's a champion that can be a lot of fun to see with the wide variety of engage paths and gank options that he has available for himself. Zoe's a much more common pick. We'll see that one locked in now for the side of Rainbow7. And you pointed out that Caitlyn and Ashe were both available, and I think it is interesting that Rainbow7 playing against PSG Talon is more comfortable leaving Caitlyn unbanned on red side, because when you look at PSG Talon, they're one of the teams, and I know this is weird to say in 2020 League of Legends, Raz, they don't play Caitlyn.
Yeah.
It's left open against them a lot. They don't pick it. Now, granted, yes, they're playing with a substitute AD carry this game because their starting AD carry is ineligible for the first 2 days. But this is not a team that has a lot of Caitlyn strategies. They don't use the champion. And as rare as that is, it does give you a little bit more breathing room for your bans on red side.
And something to be aware of, I know a lot of people have gotten sick and tired of seeing Ashe versus Caitlyn lanes. But Ashe on red side, you have the support counter pick. It makes it hard to play out the Caitlyn in lane. Caitlyn a lot of times wants to be able to pressure in the laning phase, has a great scaling element to it, of course, but takes away a lot of the raw strength that really people loved when it got back into the meta. So I love the Ashe pick. It's a great challenge on red side and makes it difficult for PSG to really draft around it. So they're going to go for the Senna pick, and they also have a lot of dive elements in there. Picking the Echo. That is a great Kongyue pick, by the way. He's undefeated in summer with the pick when he was on AHQ, 4-0 on his Echo. He's a great carry jungler, is widely regarded as the best jungler within the region. So, like, Kongyue is a real playmaker. I love the fact that he's able to get his pick.
And I like the fact that on Rainbow7, they did the cheeky hover there, hovering Talon against a team named PSG Talon. Just letting them know, like, hey, we don't even care. We're going to hover the champion that you're named after, and it still ain't going to matter. They lock in the Hecarim, though. This champion can be a lot of fun coming out of the jungle. One of those few junglers that you see that doesn't normally go for an immediate jungle item. Instead, the Trinity Force is the name of the game for him, looking for that big combat power spike. You talked about Evelynn needing an expensive item in the previous game. Well, the Trinity Force is about as pricey as it gets. Now, we're banning out some top laners come this second round of bans, my friend. It is Renekton removed from the pool and Ornn to join him.
Yeah, so Hanabi has played quite a bit of Ornn in the summer split. He does respect the pick and doesn't want to go into it if red side is going to get top lane bans as well. So I want to see what his blind pick is going to be. GP is what he's been widely famous for. So you may be able to get a Gangplank game out of Hanabi.
Olaf banned out here as well, taking away some of that power that Olaf can be flexed to the top lane sometimes. I mean, it's much rarer than like a jungle Olaf, but it is doable. It's the last ban here going to be, okay, Pantheon is out. No support Pantheon being played this game.
We'll have to see where the set's going. That's where the mystery is.
Right.
Because if it is a set top lane, then you can just go out and straight up pick your support here. But if it's a set support, the Pantheon ban makes sense. Makes it easier for the set to play it out there. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going up against. Set bot lane, I think, versus Ashe, honestly, is awful. And if they end up picking up the Leona, then I think they will opt into a set top lane.
Yeah, a champion with no sort of mobility going up against a champion that automatically slows you with any action it takes. Pretty much a recipe for a bad time, but...
Talk to me, Cap. Seems like you're talking from experience.
No, we ain't going to get any deeper into it, man. We're not going to open up them wounds.
All right.
We got a Leona locked in here. Coupling with the power of the slows from the Ashe, we've just got Chain CC coming out of every possible direction here with the Leona. The power of this champion to start off and engage can also set up the easy arrow for the Ashe to be able to hit, or if you can manage to hit that Hail Mary arrow, you're guaranteed follow-up if you've got Leona. Now, in our first game, we saw Mad Lions ban the Bard against INTZ, but the Bard is not banned this game and will be played by PSG Talon as Camille is locked in as their final pick of the draft. Camille is one of those champions, not really that much of a flex pick, my friend. Camille is drafted, she goes to the top lane. That means we're going to be seeing the set somewhere else.
I would say the set goes mid, just based off the experience that Kongyue has had with the Echo. Has not played that many games of set, so I would expect that to be it. But I mean, the beauty of blue side, honestly, if you have flex picks like this, is that it just makes it harder for Rainbow7 to recognize what they're really going up against. So You're going to have the Mordekaiser. I love Mordekaiser versus Camille. Some of the toughest compositions in League of Legends is Galio Camille. And one of the greatest picks to kind of completely nullify that, Mordekaiser Ultimate. So it's going to be easy for Rainbow7 if they get into a side lanes, 1v2 for Mordekaiser to rip her into ulti, to buy time for the team to come through. Rainbow7 has concocted what is a good, pick composition. They have Sleepy Trouble Bubble, Ashe Arrow, Leona ulti, and Hekra. Like, they have so many engage types that they should feel comfortable even if they exhaust just one.
They've got a lot of engage types, but when you look across the board, when you look at what PSG Talon has in their arsenal, I see a lot of ability to buy time. I see a lot of ability to resist the force of that engage. Bard ulti can keep somebody alive in a stasis for 2.5 seconds. Set doesn't die. That's part of what the champion is. The massive shield will be able to buy him a lot of time as well. Camille has the ability to dodge things with the iframe of her Hextech ultimatum, and Echo needs no explanation because of the fact that he can reset the entirety of his health bar. This team will have ways to attempt to outplay that incredible engage.
Yeah, it can be a scrappy game, this one. Which is going to be interesting because both teams domestically, we both want that. We've been hearing a lot from both these teams, by the way, and how slow they can be in the early portions of the game, and we don't want that stuff.
Absolutely not. This is Worlds. If you're playing a slow style in Worlds, it means usually you're used to being the alpha creature of the what is the word? The biodome is... I'm trying to think of the science word and it just ain't coming to me, man.
No, we using biodome now. You've already walked us into it.
Yeah, this is biodome now. But they're used to being that top of the food chain wherever they're from. They're able to play slow and just outscale because they're better. But oftentimes we see when teams take a strategy like that to international competition, you're not able to rely on being better. You have to make plays. You have to seize opportunities. And that's what I want to see from both of these teams. We know that PSG Talon has a low activity early game trend. They get leads. They're consistent in getting leads, but it's small leads. It's these kind of leads that you've got to build up with later. It's not even the beginning of a snowball. It's just the snow falling into your hand. I need to see a full-on snowball fight coming out of these guys.
Yeah, and from the film that I've watched, I've liked PSG Talon a little bit more. And of course, they have 3 new members, but for me, Kai Wing, the support, and even if you just watch how Kongyue is played within AHQ, they have great timers in which they do set up vision for themselves. So whenever they do play slow, it feels like it's turning into overall map pressure. Where for Rainbow7, a lot of the times, I've watched their Herald setups, I've watched their Dragon setups, and a lot of the times, they do rely on individual skill. Because it can be scrappy because the information that they have based off the vision, or at least the positioning that they have that should be advantageous, isn't that good. So they're not nearly as refined as I would want them to be. Hopefully, they would have actually worked on that, from the time that they had in playoffs till this very moment. That's the beauty of boot camps, is that they can really feel like a different beast.
And one thing that I picked up from the information that I was looking into in the prep that I was doing for these teams is that when you look at Rainbow7 and the way they play around objectives, this team doesn't have the ability to look at the objective and say, this is a bad fight. They don't. Rainbow7 wants to fight for neutral objectives. Yeah. Sometimes to their detriment, sometimes not. But this team, if they want to find success in a situation like this, in a best-of-1 round robin with teams from regions all over the world that they don't have experience against, I'm expecting them to temper that decision-making a bit, refine that, be able to look at a situation and just say,
And if they're just flatly better players individually, sometimes you can work and you can get away with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to see, because when they went up against All Knights in that finals, everyone expected All Knights to be the representative. They were just by far the better team throughout the regular season, right? But it was Rainbow7 that was the team that stuck sturdy, that was resilient. We talked about it being a reverse sweep. It was, when I was watching the game, it was the most reverse of reverse sweeps, because they were honestly one play away, one fight away from the series just being a 3-0. Like, I was like, how did All Knights lose that fight? That kind of vibe, right?
The sweepingest of reverse sweeps, where they bring out the whole dang street sweeper and just clean house with everybody.
Oh, they did it in broad daylight too. They didn't wait for the citizens to be at home sleeping. That 4 a.m., street cleaning, nah. They wanted the world to see that. And so Rainbow7, yeah, tough is an understatement. They are a really tough team, and so if you challenge them in fights, we already saw how close the last game was up against Mad Lions. Anything can happen.
Quick update for everybody watching from home right now. We are not just talking about street sweeper analogies because we can. Rainbow7's mid laner is currently adjusting some settings as we work to get into the game. And as soon as those settings are taken care of and everything is confirmed as good to go, we will be hopping onto Summoner's Rift for our second game of the day here in the 2020 Worlds play-in stage. Now, Rainbow7, who previously operated under the name Lion Gaming, when you look at their history, they have a total of 13 championship victories.
Yep.
That is a lot of victories, my friend.
And they had such insane players too. Audi, Seiya. They even had like White Lotus, like these players that were just world renowned because they would come to international events and they would show how skillful they were. Let's begin a new story.
Yeah.
Let's see something from Rainbow7. Hell yeah.
These guys are all new to the international stage here, despite the fact that they come from the org with the storied legacy. The players themselves are fresh and ready to battle, and as we saw in the previous game, those fresh players can sometimes be incredibly hungry. The Mad Lions brought their rookie roster out here and were able to find themselves a win. Now we'll see if Rainbow7 can bring these players new to international competition to victories of their own. This is also, Raz, I would like to point out, the second game in a row featuring two different teams where we got a dude named Shadow.
That's true.
I am very glad that those two teams have not played each other.
I hope they do.
Why would you say that?
I hope they do.
That is going to be so confusing, not just for people at home, but for me.
I would love for you to cast the game
where Shadow kills Shadow, Raz.
You need that. Maybe that will boost your creativity. You could start talking. Maybe you start talking Sonic, right? Sonic versus Shadow. You could do something like that.
Oh my!
I have
that's
faith
how
in you.
I level it up.
We need that.
Oh my God! All right. If that happens, you better be there too, because we're going to be stuck in that leaky boat together.
I'm opting out of that one.
We're going down with the ship. You are not allowed to condemn me to that and then just dip when the going gets rough. Speaking of the going getting rough, we'll see how this set lane works up against the Zoe, as he is going to be taking a beating there early on. Oh, that blue buff looked like he was awfully close to losing his patience, my friend.
Yeah, a little too close.
Just like a half a second.
I was sweating. I'll say just kind of taking note here from the Keystones here, because from Hecarims, you do have two options. You can go into the Conqueror's path or you can go into Phase Rush. I've seen Phase Rush being picked up versus usually like really speedy matchups like Graves, so you want to be able to chase them down. As well, if you feel like Conquerors is too much, right? If it's just an overkill, if you feel like you can still take the matchup. So I like the fact that he did that versus Echo. Echo won't have that movement speed advantage that he once did, so very nice to see that in the early game.
I also like the fact that Phase Rush allows Hecarim an exit path. A lot of times, Conqueror Hecarim, once he goes into the fight, he's not getting out unless everybody else around him is dead. You just don't have the tools left to remove yourself from the situation. Phase Rush Hecarim, because of the fact that you're diving in with the ulti, you're immediately hitting them with both your W and the damage from your Q. Phase Rush is getting procced. Unless they have immediate chain hard CC to blow you up, you will have an exit opportunity because of the speed and the slow resist. Now, Jose Deodo is going to go ahead and pick up his red buff here after doing a full clear of his bottom side. We'll see if the horse can get himself involved in the lanes. That top lane is very far pushed up. With Mordekaiser underneath the turret, they might be able to facilitate some sort of a play. Hanabi with the ward in the tri-brush will be able to see Hecarim if he comes up here. And with Echo also hanging around, ooh, nice pull. Hanabi not taking any turret shots, though.
One thing I want to notice, of course, Shadow looking for a roam here. It's a good timer just because he did get a base off for his AD carry, so it's nice to see a lot of pressure being put down mid lane because it's literally just the most important lane for both teams to get things going. So want to be able to see if Uniboy is able to get a nice flash pull for his team. If he gets that, then that would just mean a lot. Of course, that's going to be flash from Zoe if he's able to do it.
Here comes your parallel convergence. Flash pull, it doesn't hit. Flash from Zoe, you said it. Raz, you're like, you got the gift, my friend.
Oh, but there's more.
What's going on? But now it's a three-man collapse. Here comes Zoe, getting himself away alone, trying to run away alone, trying to get back to his team. Rainbow7 coming to make sure the man's got an escape route. Now D is still waiting around the corner here. This could be a 4v4 if the teams go for it. I don't think they're going to. As Shadow takes a bit of damage here, gets rooted up, but there's no follow-up there. That could have been something crazy, but everybody walks away with a couple summoner spells worse for wear.
Yep, but it's beautiful to see, you know, Nimbus Cloak, Zoe, get away from anything. I mean, I love Zoe, and you know that. I play a lot of Zoe.
I am all too familiar with how much you play Zoe.
And she is so damn, like, basically slippery.
She's hard to kill.
Yeah. It was a really nice attempt coming in from PSG to get the kill on top of her. And honestly, if you were to look towards D and Kaiwing to look for a collapse, maybe it could have happened. But that's something that Rainbow7 would have wanted to have happen. I think if they take a fight early on in this game, then they would be able to win it. D and Kaiwing recognized that, and they let him get away.
Jose Diota hanging out here in the bottom lane, seeing if maybe there's an opportunity to force a gank, but considering PSG Talon is still pretty far back, considering they have a Bard that can slow down the Hecarim as he tries to engage anyway, there's not really a chance to have a successful engage there. So with Hecarim going back to base, shopping up. Here's what I was talking about too. The Hecarim not going for anything beyond the initial Hunter's Talisman in terms of jungle items, immediately picks up the Sheen instead.
Yeah.
Generally the timer that you look for that Trinity Force completion is around 14 minutes for the Hecarim to be able to be effective and be on the mark for where he needs to be at that point in the game.
Yeah, and it's a really snowballing matchup if you ever go up against the Hecarim, because also goes into Death Stance afterwards. Like, it's just really difficult.
Ooh,
how much damage?
Talk about difficult.
Oh!
The Bard nearly getting killed, but he walks on top of 3 different health packs. He keeps himself alive, but now he walks right back into the fight, and the damage goes through. They can't quite kill him off. Rainbow7 is in some trouble. The backup has arrived. Kog'Yue is here. It's a first blood. It's a second blood. It's a bloodbath in the bottom lane.
That has to be the most tilting moment in League. Who died?
Wow. How in the world did Bard manage to calculate that so well? He was on the last tick of his health bar before Ignite kills him off. Walk on top of the health pack, walk on top of the next one, and watch this, a third for good measure.
Oh my god, that should have been an easy dub here for Leza. Even had the item advantage from the earlier cheater. Ignite being pushed down, but still couldn't secure the kill. Hell, this looked like a free one here from Leza because Kaiwing walks up too close, but is still able to get out of harm's way.
This is just incredible. Both bottom lane players from the side of PSG Talon living with under 100 HP. If that happens in solo queue, that's one of the ones that you're applying head to desk, just frustrated with how that goes. Rainbow7 end up losing both of their bottom laners here, but now it will not deter them. Shadow going in yet again. Zenith Blade able to find the mark. Here's the horse, the course. Onslaught of shadows. The cavalry has arrived. The health packs aren't there this time around. A nice binding underneath the turret onto Shadow.
Oh!
That will be a trade kill. Nicely done there by the Bard to make sure that there's at least some sort of a response. But Rainbow7 bite back.
Yeah, and that's a huge wave lost there for D. Because at the end of the day, like, they're able to just kind of rehash that play. No vision there to catch Jose Diota. And the lane is just in a volatile position. So Kog'Yue needed to be there. It just really feels tough after the last one where you feel happy able to get that kill. You think you have at least a little bit of time. But nice. It's nice double down from Rainbow7 to get the kills.
And now, with that Hecarim at level 6, you saw the playmaking power there, how much more it adds to his ganks to be able to do that. Passing off the second blue buff, going back to base to shop up and re-enter the map, refueled and ready to go. His red buff will also be respawned by the time he gets back out onto the Rift. Not sure about his goal. Let's see if he has... Yes, okay. He has the price point he needs to get another Trinity Force piece. When you're building Trinity Force, you really like to be able to grab another piece every time you go back to base and not be stuck with the garage sale tier 1 parts. Hanabi gets himself away. As these top lane trades against the Mordekaiser can be really scary if you stick around for too long. Also, Sleepy Trouble Bubbles. Pretty scary thing, as you can see half of Set's health bar disappear.
Just kind of going back to the point about Hecarim, there are a few junglers out there that really require really stable lane states. You don't want to be pulling Hecarim constantly. You want to be having him build out these experience advantages. Now, in this case, of course, being able to go for the gank bot side, Kog'Yue has been the one that has been focusing pretty heavily towards his camps. But the point being made, Hecarim would love to be able to get a full clear of his camp so he can get to that Trinity Force mark. You have to be confident in how strong your jungler can be in this game.
Yup. Gotta look out for the jungle the same way the jungle looks out for you, and now the junglers are involved here in the top side. Kongyue shows up. Remember that Mordekaiser's ulti is great at buying time in these situations. Backup will arrive soon. Rainbow7's trying to bring in the boys to keep their top laner alive, but it will not work. Kongyue gets the kill, and it's a 4-2 game for PSG Talon.
Yeah, perfect timing on that W from Echo there. Recognized when Ase would be able to come back, was able to nail him down. Of course, that does mean that they are trading sides there. It's going to be hard already for D and Kaiwing in this matchup. They do need a bailout. Hopefully that comes out soon after the kill top side.
PSG Talon with 4 players top. There's no reason not to go after the Rift Herald here. I like the Trouble Bubble attempt at trying to cheekily steal that one away, but it will not land. Eyeball is picked up. Considering they got the eye before 10 minutes, that means they'll have the entirety of its duration to use it to grab some plate money. And we've got 6 kills at 9 minutes. Based on the stats that I was seeing for these two teams, I didn't think we were going to have this much action early on, Mr. Razzleplasm.
Yeah, and so that's why kind of the lessons being learned in between from how they were playing in domestic region and then how they ended up going through in their boot camp to get to this state. I'm always interested in that. Especially once you start playing in the super server in Chinese solo queue, a lot of these players are really going up there, and you recognize how high impact it can be if you're just constantly on the map fighting. So it can change how you play.
Jose Diodo down here in the bottom half of the map yet again. Previous game, we did not see the first dragon taken until about 12 minutes in. We're on track for a similar situation here this time. And of course, as soon as I say it, they make me wrong.
Yeah, you
as the horse goes in, we're going to solo that one down. We'll be spotted out by the Scryer's Bloom, but that doesn't scare him all the way away. He knows his mid laner has prio. His support's roaming up to help him here too. Looking to maybe engage on the Ashe here in the bottom lane. Lisa needs to get himself out. Flash away. Kongyue is still going even further in here for the damage, but Rainbow7 now has more players down here in this bottom lane. Zenith Blade connects. Kongyue could be the man in trouble. Goes into the chrono break. Arrow coming through. TP going down. Here comes the set as well. It's a 5-man counterattack from PSG Talon, and they pick up the kill on the Shadow.
Yeah, I loved from the very beginning of it how Rainbow7 were just focusing on the dragon. And it was Leza that was taking a step back and buying a lot of time. But they thought that they had the numbers advantage there to go on towards what they felt was Kongyue just going too far in.
And now Kongyue has summoned up Shelly in the bottom lane. Here she is. This is just the casual Rift Herald drop for 2 plates and 300 gold. We criticized a little bit the use of the Rift Herald in the previous game because it was 1 second too late because they wanted to get full turret value instead of just 2 plates. This time around, no such thing to be said. PSG Talon says, we got some free money standing. Let's just go ahead and take it. Shelly summoned up. They cash in. Everybody goes home. 2-0-2 here on Kongyue's Echo. Very nice early performance coming from this guy who's not even on the normal roster.
Yeah, and he's their win condition. That's how much faith that they have in him. They recognize how talented of a player he was when they brought him into the team, and also how strong his Echo was, and they built a composition around it. Senna is going to be boosting up how he plays the game. It's, also Set is also going to be setting up like these incredible ultimates, so then Echo can follow up. And he's the one that's receiving all of these goals, not just from the kills, of course, not just like from the time being spent just farming up, but also just with the Rift Herald play, a lot of it went in his pockets. And so from just talking about how you utilize Rift Herald, there are 3 methods. One is so you can get priority for Dragon, one so you can get full turret, and the other one is just to boost your main man.
Yup.
And Kongyue is that man.
Man, you were saying that this could either go to heaven or hell with these players being coordinated and going for that honeymoon phase. Well, this is one of those bougie rich people honeymoons that cost like $50,000 and they're popping hella bottles of wine and having a great time. And now in the bottom lane, Rainbow7's in some trouble here again. The Ashe is going to be the target. The damage comes down. This should be 2 free and easy kills. Buy 1, get 1 free. Kongyue is going on a killing spree. 3-0-3 here on the Echo.
That's a lot of unity for me, man. PSG are the better team, it feels like. They are a real unit. And they're making it pay. The fact that Uniboy going bot side to help out D and Kaiwing that were in a lot of trouble in this game. We get bursted down here a little bit though, but you can take that damage.
Yep, not worried. Not worried at all. He's still set. Even if the horse tries to dive him, ulti included, he has the haymaker that he can drop underneath the turret and keep himself alive. And when we're looking across the board here, one thing that Rainbow7 do have going for them, we got some farm leads, but we'll talk about that here after we see the replay. Kaiwing going in on the Bard, the initiation of the Tempered Fate finds Smart.
And Kailing is 5-1 domestically on that Bard. Really damn confident on that. Has been playing it a lot in the Super Server. And it shows. That's practice right there.
Gets him at the very edge of the ring. Previously, when they tried to use that to engage down here, he missed it by just a sliver. But this time around, he had it dialed in. The accuracy was improved. And PSG Talon currently command a 1,500 gold lead over their opponents 14 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
Now, no more money to be made from plates. Those have fallen. But the next Drake is up in about 90 seconds. Mountain already taken. Infernal will be next. Means we either get Ocean Soul or we get the Clouds.
And it's all about the work behind the play, because for me, before the game started, I had more faith in PSG just because of, at least within the PCS, just how well-rounded the team was and how they got vision, how they set up for plays, that I didn't get to see that from Rainbow7. I didn't get to see that a lot from the Latin American region. So in this sense, Kaiwing had great setup towards the tri-bush and bot side. They also knew that the bot lane wave was pushing into them. It's an easy play to set up for. And if Leza and Shadow respect it, where are they going to go? They can swap towards top side, but more realistically, they needed to really bring their teammates in, and they didn't get to do it on time.
And look at the way that PSG Talon plays. For these guys, it's not about individual domination in lanes or in matchups. They're down in farm pretty much across the board with the exception of top lane. But the way that these guys play together as a team is the highlight of their squad. This is how they find their wins. This is how they find their advantages. And for a squad like Rainbow7, they need to be able to answer that. We need to see some sort of a response to this, because at any point when we're scrolling around looking at the setup of a play, I feel like we're always looking at more PSG players on the screen.
Yeah, 10 seconds before the Infernal Dragon, and they have their control ward in dot bush and line bush. Those are the two most important placements that you want to have it there. Because then Rainbow7, if they want to contest for this dragon, that's a lot of HP that they're going to miss out. Because they're going to get pelted constantly, or a fight that Uniboy can set up for. Right now, you can see where Bard is, just checking if it's going to be contested. So Rainbow7 are going to respect that, but for how long? You have to be playing towards these Drakes. Oh. And here we go.
There it is. The CC's coming through. The damage is going down. Alone is all alone underneath the turret. Kongyue needs a little bit more damage. The Senna ulti, I like where he was coming from. I just don't quite like that it was a little bit early. Does not matter. He was there in spirit. Kongyue is there to make sure he gets the kill anyway. And now the mid lane push from PSG Talon will find a little bit of damage onto this tier 1. Shadow trying to rotate up with his jungler here to stop this turret from taking an excessive amount of damage.
Oh my
but
goodness.
I don't think PSG Talon are having any of it. They scare their opponents back away. They're looking to take the turret down. This will be first turret bonus here for the side of PSG Talon.
It's going to turn into a lot, because they're getting so much on the map. Not just this mid lane turret. They're going to be looking to chip at top lane a little bit, but the biggest prize for me is Rift Herald. So now you've primed top lane just a little bit. I think they should base. They shouldn't rush to being able to place Rift Herald right now. But that's so much off that pick through mid. PSG just feel like a cleaner team. They feel like they're always on the same page, which goes back to the point that, while they have 3 new members, that honeymoon period of saying, yeah, well, we just want to know what our priorities are. What do we want to value as a team? What compositions are we playing? Do we prioritize Drakes more than Rift Herald if it's up? Like, all of these things, as long as you get all of that on the same page, no egos in the room, you can make it work. And that's what they're doing. I love what I'm seeing here, because Uniboy and Kongyue are making their moment at Worlds worthwhile.
Kongyue especially, and look at the itemization. Man, Raz, I love to see this. You go from Runic Echoes, strong starter item, of course, gives you that extra power in the jungle, into Proto Belt, extra instant burst on Echo, a champion who, one of his balance points is the fact that his damage is a bit more staggered than most others. Proto Belt dealing with that a little bit. And then the cherry on top of the sundae, the BM book, Medjai's Soul Stealer, looking to add a couple more names in his death note and keep on farming these kills. Ase needs to get himself the hell out of town. Flashing away from the Tempered Fate would have sealed his doom. You can see the magical journey already ready for that one, as Uniboy gets himself away from Jose Diodo. Considering he's got the dead man's plate, he's not too scared about getting run down here and can just walk away.
Yeah, even with the nerf going in towards tank set, I mean, the identity of the champion is still there. He's hard to push out in mid lane, he's easy to set up for ganks, and just a strong team fighter overall. So I just love what I'm seeing from the set pick, and I think that he's playing this one out well. All right, they're going to go for this.
Uniboy's tanking it up. Leza trying to get away from the turret here now, but the counterattack from PSG Talon is already there. Jose Dioto stuck underneath the turret. He's going to be taken down. Hanabi grabbing the kill, and now Ase's back into the fight, but how is he even going to do it? Walking around, he's got the passive storming up. It's a one kill for nothing trade. The enemy jungler down, and PSG Talon will not look to take anything further.
Wherever Kaiwing is, that's where the fight is. That boy is across the map making plays happen. That one didn't work out all too well, but they bounced Rainbow7 off that side of the map.
And look at the kill participation on PSG Talon, Raz. 8 out of 9 for both bottom lane players. 7 out of 9 for the jungler. The two solo lanes not as involved, considering most of the plays have been around that bottom lane, though that is understandable. But 3 out of 5 of these players have been part of pretty much everything they've done. The teamwork between these three has really been showing up, with Kongyue being one of those substitute players, with D being one of those substitute players. And remember, he's the one who doesn't have all that fresh experience. He's not the one immediately coming in from a starting roster of another team in the league. So the fact that things are going this well for this team, I'm really impressed with what they've been able to do with this sub-heavy roster.
Yeah, and I think it really showcases the leadership from the players that are there, which is Kaiwing for me. That the fact that a lot of these plays are being led by him to get these things going. Now, taking a second look at this, I was concerned because whenever you go for a play like this, that's a lot of confidence that you think you can deny the one window that Rainbow7 have. But they do it because Kaiwing is here and he thinks he can get the job done. That being said, Rainbow7 do have at least Zoe rotating, so they have to back away from that. But that just goes to show how strong right now PSG is. So PSG Talon, I think right now have been performing really well. They are really targeting this Ashe right now. Every time Ashe flash cooldown is down, they're just trying constantly on cooldown to look for a Bard ultimate, and they're doing it right now. Let the boy live. Let him go.
Well, the Drake's about to spawn, so I don't think everybody's going to be alive too much longer. I would expect PSG Talon to be very possessive over this bottom lane river. This is theirs for the taking. I do not think anybody from Rainbow7 will be able to contest it. And we've been singing the praises of PSG for a game well played so far in these 21 minutes. But now, Dr. Raz, I need you to write me a prescription for Rainbow7. What do they need to do to cure this game where they are seemingly stuck in a position where their opponents are always making the plays, because this just keeps happening? Now they're having their support get caught out. With Leona stuck in the parallel convergence, Rainbow7 are having to disengage. Here comes the counterattack, though, and into the back line, they're able to find the damage onto D. Hextech Ultimatum goes through, and it's going to be a 1-for-1 with Jose Dioto out of the picture. Ase's trying to buy himself a little bit of time. He is in the Shadow Realm now, trying to walk away. Uniboy's already ready, able to find that face breaker into a minion. The stun is there. The follow-up is out. Kongyue is unstoppable. Alone, stuck alone against the Camille, but he manages to get himself out just barely. Kongyue chasing after. Chilling smite into the hit for the kill. Underneath the turret, the Ashe will kite away. Shadow and Leza, the only men still standing here, and PSG Talon, 1 for 3.
Dr. Raz is saying that it's hard, man. That was literally the prescription I was going to say. You go look for those scraps. That flank that was coming through from Mordekaiser looked really good at the very beginning. As long as you can kind of cheat your timers, work as a team, and try and make it so you have 5 man constantly playing for the right play. So if you ever think that Hanabi is going to be playing towards the side lane, look for a play like this. But Hanabi actually rotates from the bottom lane. He wants to be a part of the play. Even with the advantages that he has, he doesn't want to be on side lane. And so even with Ase and the Hecarim coming in, Jose Diodo, thinking that they got a pick on towards the 80 carry, it wasn't enough because the Camille was there.
See the arrow coming in there, just trying to follow up here a little bit. Yeah, Ase's stuck in the Shadow Realm, so he doesn't immediately get blown up 1v4 there, but then Uniboy knows where to position, man. You can still see that flashing light of where Mordekaiser's going to come out of the ulti, and with Hanabi trying to chase down alone, he got him low enough, and then here comes Kongyue, the terror of the Rift this entire game, going as deep as he can before he has to use the chrono break to get back out. And we've still got ourselves a 4,000 gold game here in the favor of PSG Talon. Only neutral objective they can fight over on the map right now is the Baron. I don't know if they're feeling confident enough to really try to force their opponents to come meet them there. Alone on this Zoe in defensive posturing. Right now it looks like Rainbow7, man, look at where the wards are on the map. Having to put a bunch of wards in their own territory, trying to stay protected here. Ase versus Hanabi here in the side. Shadow Realm used. Let's see if he's able to find meaningful damage onto the Camille. Has to pop the shield. Tries to bring down the Q. A nice dodge with the Hextech Ultimatum. And Hanabi gets him with the uppercut kick. There comes Hecarim to make it a 1-for-1, but now where's the rest of the fight gonna go? A nice stun coming out from the Bard, making sure Shadow's not able to get himself away. This fight is not gonna be ending here just yet. Leza tries to get himself away, Shadow's walking out, the Ashe is already down, and Kong Yue is godlike. More damage flowing through as a double kill pops up for the Echo, and Alone stands alone underneath the turret.
Oh, you ain't going nowhere.
Next to him. It's a 2 versus 4, and they're going to be absolutely eviscerated underneath this tier 2 turret. Alone pops away, pops right back, and pops into an early grave. Ace PSG Talon.
Pure domination. PSG are just that good. They heard them naysayers, and they are coming up big this game versus Rainbow7.
Rainbow7 are just slowly slipping away from this game. Ase losing the 1v1.
Oh, let's take a look at this.
And watch how Hanabi plays this.
Yeah, I was concerned for Ase there because the cooldown was coming up for E and the Q for him. But it was getting real close. Like, Ase felt that when he flashed forward. But man, even that passive magic shield there was just enough for him to feel even that much more confident.
And then there's your follow-up. The Leona getting stuck in the wall. Bard's stuns have some crazy hitboxes sometimes.
Yeah, that wasn't a wall, but you know what? Developers think otherwise.
They think otherwise, and those thoughts are enough to get us to where we are right now. And then, man, this is just the feeling of impending doom for the 2 remaining Rainbow7 players who are stuck in the tier 2 turret and cannot get away. You can see behind the scenes there, Coach is happy about the way that one played out. 17-4, Raz. 17-4. That is not a close kill spread. 9-0 and 5. And my friend, I would like to direct your eye.
I was about to say.
Towards a very important number.
That's a good number too, huh?
Yeah, even more important than the 9 in the kill column for Kong Yue. Even more important than the 0 in the death column. A 25 in the Medjai's Soul Stealer column.
You know what day it is too? It's the 25th. I'm saying it's a good number.
Planned it.
It's a good number.
Planned it. This Echo has just been an absolute force of nature here on this map so far. Ocean Drake is alive now. If PSG Talon grab this one, I say if because I have to be polite, but it's more of a win.
Yep.
Not even any sort of a contest here from Rainbow7. They know they're not in a position to contest that in open ground. That is sole point now for PSG Talon. 5 minutes from here, Rainbow7 must either contest that or surrender a very powerful Ocean Soul to a team that is already damn hard to kill.
And I'm going to take a step back and say what I really love and I appreciate about PSG. Well, you know, I might have to back away because Kaiwing is looking for a kill. This guy doesn't stop, by the way.
All right, we'll go with love and appreciation until we have to divert to murder.
Okay, I'll try. Oh, he just keeps looking. He's just staring him down.
He's on the prowl. Rainbow7 goes for a bubble onto Hanabi, but man, Hanabi can just jump away. You can't go for a pick onto the Camille. He'll get away every single time.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly go out and say it because I love a team that is so damn good at the fundamentals of being able to know where to place their wards, when to be on the map for the major objectives. All of these things I feel like are being done perfectly by PSG. And then even going above and beyond and testing their limits when they have that lead. They're not going to just play lame when they have that advantage and know that they're the superior team, because the longer the game goes on, you do get an opportunity for Rainbow7 to respond.
Yeah.
So they're really trying to squeeze that advantage that they have and find those kills on Rainbow7.
Rainbow7 stuck next to the walls of their own base. I commented on the ward line earlier, and it's not really much of a line. Raz, we got 2 wards from Rainbow7 next to the walls of their own base. The rest of the map is owned by PSG Talon. They're choking Rainbow7 back into their own territory that is only held by towers.
Yeah.
Anything past a tower is dark and full of terrors. And if you're from Rainbow7, you better have at least a couple other dudes backing you up, because PSG Talon could always be lurking around the corner. You could always have Hanabi there ready to issue the Hextech Ultimatum. Kaiwing could always toss in a Tempered Fate looking for yet another pick. There are so many ways for this team to kick things off. And considering how they've outplayed so far in the fights, how they've built themselves this meaningful lead, Rainbow7 will have to find some sort of a perfect execution to really come out ahead.
Yeah, so if I take it from another angle, because there have been many scrims or games that look like this for a team on Rainbow7 side, but you don't want to, FF that early.
Right.
You want to be in these positions and ask your team, like, what can you play for? like, you talked about the vision control. Well, what do you want to fight for? Where's your line of defense that, let's just say, the control ward that right now they have next to the Raptor camp? Hey, man, if Kaiwing is looking to clear that ward out, that's a vision you can fight for. That's something that you feel like you can at least chip at HP. And also the next objective, of course, looking for a steal on Baron. Let's see if Rainbow7 get that done.
One of the nice parts about having the Ashe is you do get the vision that is guaranteed there with the Hawk shot, so they're at least able to be
Look at Smite for the Zoe.
The Baron is being taken down. Ward over the wall from Shadow sees Baron at about a third HP. Now it's Camille dealing with Hecarim. He's stuck in the Hextech ultimatum. He's burning away. He's got 50 HP left. Over the wall goes Kongwei, a beautiful 3-man facebreaker into a 4-man haymaker as Alone is trying to get himself away. It's a sleepy set, but he flashes over the wall. Take a nap and enjoy your rest. Everybody from the side of Rainbow7 is going to be run down. Hanabi's getting himself away. He takes the mace to the face, but it's still going to be the ace. PSG Talon will rend them asunder.
Bard said, take that 1v1. Yeah, you want it? Put me in that ultimate, I'll slap you. This is just so fun to see because the right play was to take the fight and PSG do it. Because looking across at Rainbow7, not only did they have the jungler with Smite, Zoe was willing to also play alongside with the Smite that she picked up herself. So don't put yourself in a 50-50. Challenge them in the fight. You've been slamming them throughout the entire game and you pulled them so far away from their base, there is no exit option for the team.
So the one little bit of a silver lining here is they did kill Echo.
That's true.
The fight starts off with your jungler stuck like here. That Q2 from Camille did half a Hecarim's health.
That's insane. He tried to escape, but only really the ghost did that. So, yeah.
His ghost ran off to horse heaven.
It's a little bit crazy, but yeah, at least the positive, you're right. Getting a kill on towards the Echo does mean that the Magi stacks does go down. But, you know, Rainbow7, I think, that also did stop the Baron. So there are a lot of things that you look back at this and you say this was pretty catastrophic. But we really want to elongate the game.
Yeah, that's all you can really do at this point. Two different QSSs have also been up for quite a while here on PSG Talon, making sure that they can't be the target of the chain CC from the Ashe or Leona here. Both Set and Senna are immune to that. I particularly like it on the Set, who is just that big frontline meatball for the squad, making sure that even if he ever might be able to be killable because of chain CC, that's just not going to happen anymore. As Parallel Convergence goes down, Tempered Fate comes out, doesn't find the mark, but Uniboy's still looking to chase these guys. Kongwei going after Alone, taking him down to half HP here already. Shadow going to be tanking up in the middle of everybody, but Hanabi's able to find some damage down onto the value members. Leza might be taken out here first in the fight. There's your kick for the damage, kick for the kill. Over the wall he goes, able to find another. Alone into the stasis. That's a nice golden corpse you've got there, my friend. Double kill for Hanabi as D kites away. Jose Diodo should be able to find the kill here, but that is a 1 for 3. Likely to become a 1 for 4 as the Haymaker will keep the set alive just fine. Jose Diodo charging in valiantly to his own demise. Ace yet again for PSG Talon.
Slow but steady, PSG just ran them over. And there's just no way you could, once again, they took so long to get the kill on towards D. There's so much sustain in this comp, and they were able to come out ahead. They may have lost their AD carry. This game looks like a dub to me.
We've got 5 seconds before the bottom lane of Rainbow7 is back alive, but that's still a 2 versus 4 right here on this potential game ender from PSG Talon. Shadow will try to hold the line here in the front. Tempered Fate coming out. Ashe could be going down. They're stuck in the stasis. Leza likely going to be sent back into the spawn platform the hard way right here. Now they're still going to be getting themselves away. Shut down onto Hanabi, but it will not matter. Nexus is gone. GG, well played. PSG Talon win their first game at Worlds 2020.
And that was a statement game for people that were looking at that team cross-eyed, thinking that losing 3 players would really shut the coffin for them. Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
It shut the coffin for the enemy team. This is not an open casket when you lose at that sort of a deficit. PSG Talon came out and looked impressive. And not just in spite of their substitutions, but because of their substitutions. Kongwei easily the MVP for this game. The plays he was making on the Echo, how much he was committed to being all over the map and inspiring so much aggression.